What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build Cool again. Today we're back to work on our 1986 Honda Helix CN250. And in this episode, the goal is to get everything all buttoned up, minus the electrical system and the seat. The seat's gonna be its own little project, and I'm gonna rewire the whole bike, so there's no point of getting everything all... I'm just gonna leave the wiring harness alone for right now. So we're gonna go ahead and start in the back of this bike, get the CVT cover on. From there, we'll move up front, get our front brake mounted, get our throttle all hooked up, get the other grip on. Then we need to get the rear brake assembly hooked up, and then we need to hook up the fuel system and the cooling system for this thing. So quite a bit to do, but I feel like things will go really smoothly, and before we know it, this thing will be almost ready to go, minus the electrical system and seat, of course. But before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. This thing's gonna be done before you know it, and you're gonna wanna make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on what she looks like when she's all done. And our first test ride, with her being completed. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that. But with all that being said, let's get started. guys, so she's getting there little by little. We've got the front brake on and hooked up. We've got the throttle on and hooked up. The rear brake assembly deal is hooked up minus the little brake light switch, because I was trying to figure out where that spring went, and then I remembered it goes to the switch, dummy. So that doesn't go on quite yet. But we're making quite a bit of progress, and it's coming together quite nicely. So now we're gonna go to the rear of the bike and start with our cooling system, get that all hooked up, and then we'll get the battery box back in here so we can hook up our fuel system as well. So with all that being said, let's keep going. So we managed to go ahead and get everything I wanted to knocked out. The throttle's hooked up, the grips are on, front brakes hooked up, the rear brakes hooked up, the fuel lines are hooked up, the coolant lines are hooked up, CVT cover's on. This thing's just going together like a dream. I did not expect everything to just go this smoothly. So we're gonna go ahead, call it a wrap on this episode. In the next episode, we're gonna tackle that beast sitting over there known as the wiring. That thing is an absolute mess now that I wadded it all up and threw it in a milk crate. So I'm gonna have to detangle it, figure out where everything goes again, and then we'll be able to start laying it all out and rebuilding that thing to make it look as good as we possibly can. But before we get out of here, let's go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep on building cool shit. Just a few more episodes and this thing should be done and ready for our first test ride when she's in her final form. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next episode.